Yeah, and we're live. So
You're looking live.
we're looking live. We're here as we always are on a beautiful, I guess, Tuesday afternoon for you, Tuesday morning for me.
Yeah, you're just
I
finishing
was,
breakfast. I'm
I was gonna say yeah, it's
some
I
lunch
say I'm having a
already.
late breakfast. It's 10 a.m., which to be fair, but I went to the gym earlier, so it's it's fine. It's a late breakfast.
So thanks everybody who's jumping on already. Welcome to the weekly Gen live stream. We are live from our various locations. Josh, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, Greg will not be entering the building to quote the famous Elvis line.
There you go.
Uh, Last week, he sort of just appeared in my
Happy to be here.
computer window unexpectedly. It's usually how it happens when he drops by the office every quarter or whatever to check his mailbox.
Whenever he's actually around.
Living the life of the well-traveled immigration attorney extraordinaire. Yeah. So this one will be pretty brief. We definitely have things to bring to discuss as it relates to Jen and some other topics, but a little lighter this week. We're really vamping up things for Ayla annual conference and talk about that before the end of our time today. But yeah, it's really just this incredible crunch time, if you will, like just cranking through the gears, trying to get everything prepped and ready for Ayla annual. But we also just had some important goals for the summer, and yeah, we're just sort of stepping into it, sort of headlong now. But anyway,
Yeah,
I guess
that's
Josh.
yeah, absolutely. I can even go a little bit over kind of some of the things we got coming up here as well, and we can kind of bounce back and forth here. So yeah, as Josh mentioned, we're kind of gearing everything up for Ayla Annual. We're in the process of, we just got booths and everything ready. So if you guys saw us last year, we'll have a much bigger presence here. A lot of spaces for people to come and actually demo Gen if you haven't actually done it already. Great place to kind of get hands on with the product if you haven't as well. We'll be showing both drafting as well as conventional Gen, so everyone can kind of see what it offers. Um, and kind of as building up to that Ayla annual, and kind of we decided to bring back our initial early early adopter pricing, kind of what we did for anyone who signed up for our wait list for Gen previously, just leading up until Ayla annual, just before we launched the draft product here. So at least for about the next month, we'll be doing pricing at $180 as opposed to 220 per user per month here for Gen. So if you want to sign up, if you want to get access to draft now for your firm for free, now would be the time to do so. That's going to be included with this $180 Gen bundle currently. So that's going to be really really great. Like we said, for the time being, there's no additional cost for that. It includes the O1 and the EB1 draft components, as well as support letters and any other sort. What else am I missing? It does something else there too. It's like support letters,
But
EB1.
yeah, it answers everything. No,
Yeah,
definitely not. That is not our marketing pitch at all.
yeah.
We're very focused on certain immigration specific processes. Um, you know what? If you're an immigration lawyer and you're interested, hopefully you can make it to Ayla Annual this year.
Mhm.
If not, definitely reach out. But we should have a really nice booth. Josh will be repping some of our new merch.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
I get pretty, we're going big. So we should have some, I don't know, to be determined swag at the table. And you can learn all about draft. We're going to have a very specific pillar like TV demo station where you can watch the promo and get the full experience. So yeah, there's
Absolutely.
there's a lot going into Gen Draft, and we talked a little bit about that last week. But again, we'll be gradually releasing more draft capabilities. We have the O1 and the EB1 already completed. I just heard today we've been making some strides in the 601A area. So get excited. Those of you who are family practitioners in the family immigration space, something to look forward to. So yeah, all those things are definitely actively happening. I think sort of the two big updates we have for today are primarily the update we were sort of hyping up last week, which has to do with, yeah, right. We kind of teased it a little bit. Is this really interesting collaboration with Siskin Susser immigration law firm, which the startup was sort of founded out of back in the day. As part of their 30th anniversary, they are going to be providing complimentary access of GEN to immigration clinics around the country. So that's awesome. So any law school in the country, in the United States, who wants access to GEN will have that access perpetually into the future. So we have a process. If you're interested, we have a little form. If you are a law school or know someone at a law school who is part of an immigration clinic, or obviously if they're, it might change periodically, and they may have different focus areas within the clinics. Also, for law students, perhaps you're in an immigration class. I hear that that's growing in popularity in certain law schools, so it's kind of interesting to know. So if you're taking that elective class and you want free access to GEN for the semester, or just as long as you want to continue using the product as a student, we're obviously more than happy to give you access. And we're still navigating sort of the nonprofit discount concept. So in our form online, you can sort of designate that you if you are a nonprofit and are looking for some discounted access to GEN, happy to entertain that as well. So yeah, that's really awesome. It's again
great.
Sort of like this interesting collaboration with a law firm. They just wanted to make a splash for their 30 years of practicing law, and so
we've already teamed up with Vanderbilt, right? Vanderbilt's law clinic is already on board with
that's right.
Yep.
We're based in, the company's based in Tennessee and have a lot of connections with Vanderbilt. Obviously, Greg went to college there, and we'll be there later this week for like a retreat work retreat we have. But anyway, so Vandy is already using GEN for I guess their clinic or some of the classes there. And then, of course, we have some schools kind of in our back door, kind of in our neighborhood that we've reached out to already gained access as well. That, I guess right now it's mostly just immigration courses at law schools, but we really want clinics to have access as well. So anyway, if you're interested, if that's relevant, feel free to reach out to our team, info@visalaw.ai or josh@visalaw.ai. That would be our contact information. So that's the really big one. And there's going to be a lot more press coming out next week about that. And the press will have all the sort of like the link to the form and all those pieces and how it will work. So that's a really big release. There's more to come there.
Yep.
And I guess that's really that's the big item. Alternative, the only other item is what you just mentioned, is sort of like the lead up to AILA Annual. We have a discounted offering of GEN plus GEN Draft. To get access to the drafting tool at this point, at this time, you have to be a GEN subscriber. It won't always be that way, but right now we just want to get feedback from our current users, right? Like we want them to inform that product and how it can continue to grow and improve. So that's the only sort of stipulation there from now until basically, I would say probably end of June, early July.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would be exclusive to GEN subscribers. And it will all be in one interface, right? That's what I want to emphasize to people. It's like, it's not going to be some other product over here that you're going to have to go navigate over to. It's going to be all integrated into your current environment. So some exciting things.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's most of what we had to talk about today. I know we might just have some other kind of random AI topics. One really interesting thing that we're about to start is sort of like a PR kind of interesting idea is sort of like GEN versus attorney. That was kind of like what our sort of slogan was on the last newsletter that we sent out. So Jason Susser, one of our co-founders, I guess back a few months ago at the, I guess it was the AILA Colorado chapter, they had Ira Kurzban, who's, obviously a very foreknown immigration attorney, has a, what people call this sort of like holy book of immigration. Every, attorney has one on their desk, Kurzban. They basically had sort of like a face-off. It wasn't just with Gen. They used a few other AI products sort of off the shelf, like ChatGPT. I don't know if Gemini, maybe Claude. I don't know what options they had available, but I do know that it was basically a tie between Gen and Ira, and that was because there was like I guess a very nuanced question that neither of them were able to sort of answer correctly. And I would preface, Ira had access to his book, and everyone got the questions, like basically got the questions a little bit early, so they could, obviously not have to answer in the moment. So there were some like stipulations around that kind of thing. So anyway, we're kind of like wanting to sort of continue this idea, right? Just trying to build some validity around we think is one of the largest immigration data sets in existence, and we want to show that off a little bit. So we'll be maybe finding a few lucky immigration attorneys, or unlucky, depending on how you think about it.
Right.
We sort of have like this sort of face off, if you will. So we'll have, a format, probably someone sort of steering the conversation, panel leader, and then this will all be virtual on our weekly live stream. So I would say that's likely going to be 3 or 4 weeks before we can kind of get it all set up how we want. And establish, find some folks who are interested. And it will be a fun kind of, either way, it'll be a good time. So
this can be a good watch.
We also need to come up with some questions. Maybe we'll try to ask Gen for some questions, but we need some like progress, like starting with some maybe like low hanging fruit, and then getting into like some really, ringer type immigration questions that are pretty complex. So would be interested to see if anybody has any questions that they've been trying to get answered and been using some of their as an attorney or otherwise, and would like to see how Gen would handle that question. Feel free to send it over to us. We're really interested to see how that all goes. So yeah, that'll be fun. We'll see. Yeah, we have some names in mind already that we kind of already asked. Yeah, hopefully people respond well to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's big time.
Something to look forward to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's really it for today. One other thing, this is not Gen related at all, but I did find, one of the interesting aspects of generative AI as we sort of continue to build out our, in our really small bubble, our really small focus area for our product. But there is obviously a much larger advancement in technology in all these. Basically every industry everywhere is being impacted by the technology. OpenAI released a kind of, it wasn't a super popular, like, I don't think widely distributed article. I'm really fascinated by data security as a concept. And actually I just posted the link in the chat. So feel free to copy paste. I don't know how this actually works with.
I think it goes automatically to our YouTube channel for this one. So might as well just leave it up there, and that way at least people can see.
It's a random URL you can just copy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you can actually copy and paste on the actual screen, so maybe that doesn't work. But it's in the comments, and if you're in LinkedIn or Twitter, maybe I don't exactly know. Again, this is interesting, kind of cross-platform live stream. If you can grab the link, it's just a simple article that OpenAI posted about how cybersecurity is going to have to sort of make, progress and leaps and bounds to keep up with some of the sort of like the needs of AI, and so some of the challenges, faced, by, all these like sort of interconnected AI tools, and how it creates opportunity for hackers and other sort of bad players or whatever, or bad actors, if you will. So anyway, it was sort of interesting, and I found some of the specific points in there. It made a lot of sense. I was just like thinking, it's like, yeah, wow, we really do. It's really gonna have to, if we're gonna have to sort of think collectively as an industry and as,
someone in the
startups
space,
and
especially,
software
working.
companies about how all this is going to work. I thought it was really interesting, this idea of having like almost AI specific audits. Most software companies now, like for example, right now, our company is undergoing SOC 2, Type 2, and GDPR certification. This sort of concept of like, those types of certifications aren't really, they didn't really have generative AI in mind in terms of, how some of these data sets are structured, and how a lot of these sort of like, I guess this idea of like apps eventually being able to like really seamlessly interconnect and data being able to be shared, sort of cross-platform instantaneously. It's just a very fascinating concept. And I do agree it's going to be a huge need. I'm no cybersecurity expert. I wouldn't necessarily have a lot to say there. I just thought it was an interesting read, something they published over this last week. So who knows, maybe in a couple of years we'll start to have like AI specific audits or certification requirements for different industries. Who knows? Generally, the legal industry has not been as regulated in that way as other industries in terms of a lot of the compliance requirements, but it's fascinating. So that was a kind of interesting read this week. And then the last shout out, they weren't expecting it, but our intern started this week.
Yes.
I didn't get permission to like say their names or anything like that, but yeah, we actually have 2 interns and 1 extern, all law students or pre-law students working with our content library. We have some cool content projects this summer. It's kind of a two-step approach where first part of the summer, they're going to be trying to pull all the content, helping our dev kind of, most of them are really interested in this cross section of like technology and law. So helping like structure the database well, bring the content in. And then the second half of the summer is going to be about how to create customized prompts and use cases for that content. I know Greg has some really, he hopes that like, for example, the H1B and perm processes, there's some really interesting prompts they've been working on there. We're also going to be connecting to some other, it's not conventional research data. It's like other data sets. So like wage data and some of these other data sets that, lawyers periodically or frequently refer to for various stages in a process. So should be some really interesting stuff coming out by the end of the summer, thanks to those folks. It was also a really interesting journey as a legal AI startup to try to seek externs from law schools. No law school specifically will be named in my comments, but there was definitely some pushback, which was very interesting. We really needed people who were sitting at this sort of, how would you say, cross section between, technical AI, sort of prompt engineering and sort of like legal expertise that we think would really assist in being able to come up with some of these instructions and prompts that are very immigration specific. But I will say there were some law firms that really embraced it. They thought this was like really cool. That some of their students would be super interested in considering these sort of like alternative, really alternative career paths almost for future lawyers. But there was also some pushback. So anyway, I don't know what that all means, just to say everyone's sort of adopting and progressing it.
It's changed different paces. Yeah, it's all changing and evolving.
Again, they would definitely on both sides, both those like very adoptive of this like idea of law, of like law clerks and law students working in this sort of AI technology, or like they're big law schools that we all know and are widely respected in both boxes or like in both categories. So again, very interesting. So that's but anyway, we're really excited about the folks who are on board with us this summer. And so we have, again, 2 interns and 1 extern. All 3 of those folks are going to be working exclusively on content, and then we'll have likely another intern or 2 helping on the technical side, sort of product roadmap and those types of things. So it's interesting that we'll have a pretty full house this summer. We're excited about it. Again, a lot going on, a lot to be excited about.
Yeah.
We think anyway. So I don't have anything else. Josh, anything?
I was gonna say, I think you covered everything that we could think of. So no, I think, thanks everyone again for joining us. We do these every week on Tuesdays, same time, same place. So feel free to hop in. Subjects are always different, and we want to just try and make sure we're giving everyone the best opportunities they can. Remember, if if you're either a law student, reach out to us, get that free access. If you're someone who's not a law student, you're an attorney, now's a great time to sign up for Gen 2. $180 is going to be probably the best it's going to be probably ever again. So if you ever were curious, give it a shot. Now would be the time. So feel free to reach out. More than happy to get that. But other than that, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. Sorry for everyone who's disappointed because Greg wasn't here.
Absolutely.
If you see him wherever he is in the world, if you see him, say hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Next week. That's always the joke, is that Greg's always on the go. But anyway, maybe he'll enter the building next week and miraculously appear and enlighten us all. But anyway, to all of you, thanks for joining. I hope you have a good rest of the week and talk soon.
Bye, guys.